Good day, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we have with us Noman Rasool, came to Canada quite a while back, been in the oil and gas industry, and lives out in the West. So interesting enough, has been there for his whole journey here in Canada. So it'll be nice to hear from him today. So Noman, without having me to introduce you any further, can you get started by telling us a little bit about yourself first?
Okay, thanks, Saad. Thanks for having me. So, yeah, my name is Noman Rasool, and I'm here in Canada for almost last 10 years now. So, I think it's been an interesting journey. So, I'll start with my background as an electrical engineer. I completed my engineering in Karachi from Edmonton University, and then I started my master's there in communication electronics. I was able to complete my master's just because I migrated to Canada, and it's mainly a family migration. Our family lived here before, and I was never convinced to come here because I was working in Suparco there, and it was like an officer style job, so I was enjoying a lot my job there. But because family needs, so I decided to migrate to Canada. That's how I came here in Canada. And when I started here, I was lucky enough that within first few weeks, I get a job in IBM as a technical analyst. So I worked there for about 6 months, and then I moved my career from there to be a project manager. Then I moved to Willow System, which is one of the oil and gas company here in Edmonton. I worked there for about 2 3 years, and then I moved to this company where I'm working right now for last 7 years now, and this is leading energy company in North America on oil and gas industry side. So this is my quick introduction. Like for last 14 15 years of pragmatic career, I've been into aviation industry where I started, then I moved to the defense industry, and then moved to the IT and transportation, and then last 7 8 years in oil and gas. But recently, because of all those oil prices, I managed to move to the digital transformation or machine learning side.
Interesting. So you landed when you came to Canada, you went directly to Edmonton, and that was like a family decision that you're saying. But normally people don't go to the West. They just try to stick with Toronto. So what would be your advice to those folks, regarding Edmonton and Calgary and
So my advice to the newcomers is definitely try to do some more research. Research before you come into it. What's your current future? What's your current path, and where you want it to be? Like if you want it to be more in the oil and gas industry, if you want to be more on the IT side, if you want to be more on the machine learning, cybersecurity, these kind of thing, you have to first think like where you should land, where there's more opportunities. So when I talk about myself, I was an instrumentation engineer, so I decided to come to Edmonton, and the main reason was the oil and gas industry was booming back in 2013-14 when I came here, and it was a great experience because, like I said, as soon as I landed, within a week I got a job. So for newcomers, like think and plan ahead and then come here instead of just jump to Toronto or any place and you don't find a job and start doing all the odd jobs for times and then you lose your passion and your career. So make sure you have to plan and then come here.
so Edmonton is a very interesting place. I spent some months there, and that's how we both know each other, of course. But in terms of the weather, why do you think it's so daunting for folks to go out there? I mean, you've lived there for such a long time. There's a fairly strong community there, but what do you think, in your opinion, why people don't like to move to Edmonton or anywhere west?
That's true. Like it is a challenge. And I think it's the same thing in the career for everyone. Like if you want to get a better job, if you get want to get a better compensation and all those things, you have to look for different places. It's sort of a trade. Like if you live in Toronto, I think an engineer or project manager, they hardly get a six-digit figure. In Edmonton or Calgary, it's very common. Almost every second engineer is getting a six-digit figures, and PM is maybe 200K or something. So again, it's a trade-off thing. Like you have harsh weather here, like usually about a month or so you may see minus 40 degrees Celsius, but summer is beautiful here, so we enjoy a lot in summer. Like I
The
pray for
short summer.
it is short. Yeah, it is short. It's about 4 months, 4 to 5 months max, not more than that. But it's still, and at the same time, I must give credit to the city and the Alberta. Those guys, they manage all those extreme weather. Like even minus 40. I remember minus 40. We go to office every single day. All the transportation is working. Everything is working. There's not like there's emergency announced and things are not working. So they managed to make this weather and all those things, but still it's working really well for the professionals here. So definitely it's a harsh weather, and but at the same time the trade-off is you will get a better compensation, you will get a better salary, and you may have a better house and things like that.
There are also great places nearby like Calgary, and then there's Jasper and Banff. So very nice and beautiful places anyway. So
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Like Calgary is about 3 hour drive. It's the similar weather between here and Calgary, not much difference. But like from hiking, there are so many winter sports here. So definitely you can play those. When you live here, then you start engaging and involving in those winter games. So like for us and anyone else who live there, they start engaging and they start playing more and more winter sports. But
perfect.
during summer, we usually go to Banff or Jasper. There are some beautiful places here. So.
So, Noman, one question. A lot of people moving from Middle East with a lot of background in the oil industry. What would you advise to them? Because you've been in the oil industry for such a long time, you've seen the rise and fall and the stabling out of the oil and gas industry. What would you advise to them? And if they were at a point in their career where they're transitioning over, moving to Canada, what would you advise to them?
So being honest, oil and gas industry is declining. Everyone know that. Like it's already hit the bottom. You all know, like last year the prices went to negative, right? This is first time in the history. So it's a declining industry. Although I'm an oil and gas professional, but within oil and gas there is a lot of room that you can manage yourself. So like I said, in 2019, I already seeing that oil and gas industry is moving down. At that time, I was purely working as a measurement and instrumentation engineer. Then I decided to shift my career towards more machine learning and artificial intelligence and digital transformation side. And I was able to manage that. And like currently, I'm leading a predictive analytics initiative within the company. So same advice. Although if you are in the oil and gas industry, that's fine. You're not supposed to go to rig or supposed to go to field every single day. But think about like within the oil and gas sector, you still have lot of different departments, a lot of different room there. So you can manage to move yourself to the place where you can easily transition out of the oil and gas industry. So like if I want to come out of the oil and gas industry, I can easily move to any other industry because now I know the whole digital transformation journey, how you should start, the whole infrastructure side, the whole architecture side, how you have to build those things. So if you learn some of those things, then you should be able to manage yourself.
Perfect. You recently completed your MBA as well. What led you to do your MBA and what was your experience? What would be your advice to those people who are here? Should they go for the MBA? Should they wait and then complete their MBA or should they get into an MBA right off the bat?
I would definitely say it's not good to start MBA right after your bachelor's or something. You have to have in the field sometime. You have to get some experience because MBA is just another degree if you don't have any experience. If you have experience, then you can leverage maximum out of your MBA. Like when I started my MBA, I think I already had over 10 years of experience in the field, like I said, in 3, 4 different industries. So I was able to relate my MBA to all the different industries. Like when I was taking operations management course, I understand how the operations management work. When I was taking like the finance course, I know how finance work. When I was working on more strategic and management side of the organization, because I have seen all those things, so I relate all those things, and I was able to apply my learning from MBA to my profession, right? So I would definitely recommend MBA is great for engineers. It will find and polish your all the skills, but at the same time you have to have some experience, like some experience in your field, so you can relate to MBA. Otherwise, you will hear all those cool terms, but at the end of the day, you wouldn't able to use those things because you don't have any experience.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Noman, today for sparing the time out and talking. And I'm sure that folks will have questions. They'll probably reach out to you. So thank you so much for doing this today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.